Good morning, guys. I hope you all had a really good spring break. I hope you slept in. I hope you played outside. I hope you put school in the back of your mind. Um, but really, I hope you relaxed and I hope you enjoyed your break. So now we are back in the swing of things and we are starting off with the reteaching. So we're going to be reviewing topic 12. So I've got my reteaching sheet pulled up here, and the reason you guys are seeing my computer screen is because I've got it on Adobe, so I can use a marker, so I can kind of go do your study guide with you. So set A says, you can find the object that is the longest. The longest means it takes the most space. When I think of longest, I think of largest. Okay, it takes up the most room. So if you see this pink line, it's the longest because it goes past the green and the red line. The red line is in the middle, and this green line is the shortest because it takes up the least amount of space of all three lines. So over here for number 1 and 2, we're going to circle the longest line, in each group, and we're going to draw a box around the shortest. So the longest, we're going to see which line of the three, the blue, the red, or the green, goes the farthest. Well, let's see, the blue one, okay, it stops, and then I see the red one keeps going, and then after the red one, I see the green one keeps going. So the green one is your longest line. And then we're going to draw a box around the shortest line. So that means it's the one that takes up the least amount of space. So let's see, this red line, it could be it. It's shorter than the green line. But if you look up above it, that blue line stops before the red line does. So that means it is the shortest. So box it. Now for number 2, we're going to do the same thing. We're circling the longest. So let's see, the green one, okay, it's pretty long, but then if I look down below at the blue, it keeps on going. So let's check the red too. Well, the red stops here, and that blue one, it just keeps on going. So that's my longest line. So I'm going to circle it. And then for the shortest, it's either going to be the green or the red. So let's look at the green. Okay, it stops here, and then look at the red. It stops a little bit before. So the red is the shortest. So we're going to box it. Set B at the bottom says you can compare the lengths of two objects that are not lined up next to each other by using a third object. The paperclip is shorter than the eraser. The pencil is longer than the eraser. So the pencil is longer than the paperclip. So over here for numbers 3 and 4, we're going to use the object that it gives us, and we're going to see which object is longer. So number 3, you've got a marker and the edge of a math book. And they've given you a piece of ribbon to measure. So if you look, the green marker is shorter than the ribbon, and the math book is longer than the ribbon. So that means the math book is longer than the marker. And number 4, they've given you a green crayon and a tube of toothpaste, and we've got a little red line down at the bottom to use. So if you look at the green crayon, it is longer than the string. And if you look at the tube of toothpaste, it is shorter than the red string. So that means the green crayon is longer than the tube of toothpaste. And set C at the on the next page, you can measure the length of an object in cubes. So this is the lesson that we did where I told you if you did not have those objects at home, you could use something else. Or you could, I don't think when you pull up on Pearson, this doesn't give you the option to use the on-screen cubes, so never mind that. But if you didn't have cubes, you could use paper clips or goldfish or whatever you have as long as you use the same thing. So I'm going to use cubes at home, but you can't see that because you're just looking at my computer screen. So we'll just do this part together, okay? You can measure the length of an object in cubes. So remember, you start at the beginning of the object and you go all the way to the end of the object. And when you measure your objects, you need to make sure that your blocks go end to end. They do not overlap, and there's no gaps. If you look down here, this is not measured correctly because you've got this one right here, and it sticks up because they've overlapped it. So that makes you think that this marker is 5 cubes long, but it's not. It's really just 4. This up here is how you measure it correctly. Okay, so number 5, the green strip is about blank cubes long. So I've got my cubes and I'm putting them up to my screen, and it took me about 5 cubes to get from the beginning of the green line to the end of the green line. And if you've got a different object at home, you can go ahead and you can try it and see how many of that object it takes. I just want you to practice measuring with an object, okay? I know it may not be cubes, but that's okay. And number 6 at the bottom, the blue strip is about blank cubes. Okay, I've got my cubes, and it looks like they are 2 cubes. And again, if you do not have cubes, use an object that you have at your house and just practice measuring it. If you notice at the bottom of set D, that is X'd out. And the reason that is because that is a harder part. It's a little hard for you guys to do with me not being with you to give you the materials to use. So on tomorrow's test, there will be a question over this, but we're just going to ignore that question. It won't be against you, but you can just ignore it. Okay, if you guys have any questions about the study guide, you can get up with me, email or remind. And again, welcome back to school, and do not forget to do all your other assignments, okay? Check the Weebly every day. Bye, guys.